Hi, I'm Zach. In this video, I'm going to talk about how I keep myself from becoming hopeless or going to a state of dread after working diligently on my dream job and getting little results. Number one is I found my vision and my purpose that helps others. And helping others, even the chemistry of it's healthy to you. It's healthy to your mental state of mind and everything. And dedicating myself to this vision over the years it makes it stronger and stronger and just my spirit and will. And there have definitely been times where I've been in a very dark place and worked very hard and lost everything, and then just having that purpose and vision and something to give my life for it changes my entire state of mind, and it gives me so much strength to keep going. And it's the foundation of staying away from the hopelessness, or scaring the hopelessness off. It scares the hopelessness off. So number one is having that clear vision and purpose of what I want to do with my life. And number two is having a direction, a literal mechanism of how I'm going to accomplish it and what I'm going to be doing on a daily basis. So through the years, I've developed the skill and consistency of constantly writing everything down at the beginning of months. Not necessarily the very beginning of the month, because sometimes my cycle of to-do list will start like halfway through the month or at the end. But I'll start every month just about, and I'll come up with a weekly to-do list, a monthly to-do list, and I'll rethink my like long-term, like 10, 20, 50-year goals. And I've developed a habit of writing a lot. Whenever I've had day jobs, I would always either use my notebook inside my phone or a piece of paper from the receipt, and I would have a pen and I'd be writing down. And the main things that I write down, obviously as a singer-songwriter, is song ideas, but then also as a content creator, and I write down video ideas. I'm constantly writing down lists and lists of ideas, and then for sure video ideas that I'm going to record. And so here, for example, I've usually always got this big pile of paper next to me whenever I'm working, and every single day I keep the most relevant one at the top, the one I'm should be working on that day, the content idea or the song. Here's a newer song that I'm working on. And so it started out, and whenever I don't know what to write down, whenever my direction and everything's unclear, what I do is I just get a blank piece of paper, or on my phone, I write down 3 stars, or like 1, 2, 3. Or sometimes I start with 7. It doesn't really matter. I just it's just a habit. I always make sure what I write down 3 stars, and then something in my brain is like, I have to write these ideas, because I don't like leaving a piece of paper blank like this. So whenever I've been sitting there, or I've been at a point in my life where I feel like hopeless, or I'm starting to feel like lost and confused, like, oh, what do I really need to be doing? I get a piece of paper, and I write down 3 stars, and then I just really evaluate and think, what is it that I really need to do? What is it that I need to do, but I've been like holding off, or like what are the three most important things, because it's usually pretty simple, and I can usually like reverse engineer it by thinking what's the opposite of what's going on right now, like what's my main problem, and what's the opposite of that, like what would be the opposite, and then what do I need to do to get there. And so I think real hard about it, I'll tell you what. And sometimes I can't really, I mean, after doing it for so long and just going through this process, you will get better at it. I've gotten better at it. It's like I've gotten better at just being able to focus and problem solve, and these types of problems in this context of songwriting and content creation. And but as long as I write down something, and sometimes I'll end up having two pieces of paper where I've written down the same thing, but that's very rare. And I've gotten to the point where it's rare where I don't have something to write down that's actually beneficial, and actually helps solve the problem. But I just started writing stuff down, and doing it, and more and more and more, and eventually these 3 stars now, I usually always add more stars. Like it starts out with 3, but then as I sit there, more ideas come to me, and then I start adding more stars that become tinier, because so many ideas come to me that I have more to write down that can fit on the page. And it wasn't always like that. And simply just starting and just writing it down and just like putting in the effort, there's something powerful about that. Like I've been in state of minds where it's like dark, and like I put in all this energy and nothing happened. And then I simply, or I was at work and like I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I'm like I put in months and months here, and I've been working hard on the outside, and I feel like there's gotta be something else I can do to make my music or videos better. And I just have this feeling of like discomfort and pain and dreaded hopelessness, and not sure what to do next. But then I just force myself. I'm like, all right, just get a piece of paper, 3 stars or 3 marks, 1, 2, 3, and just put the pen to the page. What are the top 3 things that I can do now? And as soon as I do that, it's like something in my brain just switches. It's like the hopelessness starts to fade and go away. As soon as I focus my energy from being overwhelmed and just like trying to process everything at once, I take all my energy. I'm like, no, we're gonna use it to solve the problem. And then as soon as I put the pen to the page, and especially like as I start writing ideas, the more I fill up the page, the better I feel. But then more importantly, I act on it. And that's whenever I really feel results of hopelessness and dread going away. Whether my actions for these ideas get results or not, the fact that I wrote it down and I acted on it and I tried my best, and it always helps me get closer to a clearer vision and direction too. So it is a very good weapon against hopelessness. And I would definitely recommend writing as much, well, especially if you're trying to make a living as a writer. I'm a singer-songwriter. Writer is in the title. And yeah, I love writing too. So it's another reason why it's like, it's therapeutic. It's but also it's very, it helps me focus my energy and focus my efforts and get better at what I'm doing, and manage a business and come up with cool ideas too. I mean, I love brainstorming and just using my imagination. Like I've thought of a bunch of movie ideas and started scripting some of them, and then I always write down skit ideas too, and all types of stuff. And I have thought, obviously, that I use way too much paper, but I always save. No, I don't always save. I do crumble up and throw some of them away, but I save a lot of them, and I've had trash bags of papers, and then I've recycled them, but I know that doesn't. I'm not really sure the exact details of recycling, but I've heard it's not really all that efficient, or there's something else going on. But yeah, it would be nice, or better. I mean, I started using the computer a little bit more to type, like in notes, but there's something about writing down on a piece of paper. It's just like it's different, and like something like it. As far as fighting hopelessness, I don't know if I just conditioned my brain to do it because that's what I'm used to. But whenever I'm typing on a screen, it's not as like therapeutic, or it doesn't like feel as powerful for whenever I'm writing down something on a piece of paper. But I would like to find a way to do it without using as many trees. Although, I mean, it's paper. Maybe I killed like one big tree in my entire life. Probably not even that. I mean, that's a lot of paper. So honestly, if I just plant like 100 trees in my lifetime, I think that they will not keep me up at night. So I just need to start planting like one tree a year, minimum, something like that. Anyway, leave a comment down below. How do you keep yourself from being hopeless whenever you're going towards your dream jobs? Do you have multiple dream jobs? How many businesses do you have? Do you write down stuff a lot? Do you have a to-do list? Are you constantly writing down creative ideas or journaling? I used to journal a lot more. Now I don't journal as much, but I do have like 5 journals from the past 7 years or something. And I used to journal every day. Do you journal, or do you write down ideas constantly for your YouTube channel? Let me know. What do you like about this video? And you can support me if you like the content at Patreon. Thank you. Thank you for watching. For the animals! Woo!